Hello, my name is Avery Taylor, and today's just going to be about my Rebuilding October series. A quick thank you to you guys for all the support across the entire month. I started the month sitting in the 500s of subscribers, which is great, but it wasn't close to the goal that my wife and I had set for 1,000 by the end of the year. And you guys are closing in on that mark ever so quickly over the last month. We've reached 931 subscribers in total, bringing us closer to that goal, obviously about 69 subscribers away at the time of this recording. Unbelievable. I never expected this series to take off quite the way it did. Had my best day ever on YouTube. Highest ever before watch hours was at 243. Hit 530 on that day. Absolutely crushed it, doubled it. Had 38 subs in one day. My previous record was 14. So just absolutely unbelievable stuff from you guys, and I cannot thank you enough. For the series, I thought it went pretty well. I was very happy to get it done because honestly, that was the most stressful part. Come to the end of it, I was really struggling with sleep and stuff like that, especially with, our gender reveal for our upcoming baby. As you can see around me, we are about to move into our first home, so there's a lot of stuff going on, but at the end of the day, we got it done, and it probably felt rushed to you guys, especially some of the ones towards the end. A lot of that had to do with the poor planning on my part, and then just obviously the shortened time. I started on this series probably in September, very beginning, I think I recorded the White Sox video, which was the first video of the series, on September 2nd, maybe. But yeah, I got started on that pretty early, but then I had to take a 10-day hiatus because I had my wedding, honeymoon, which I wouldn't trade that for the world. I don't blame myself for that, but at the same time, it did take up time. I definitely should have created some sort of database, in my opinion, that kind of helped me keep track of how I went about, free agents. My this was my tracker for the longest time. It was awful. I couldn't hardly keep track of, who went where, who was on club options, team options. It was rough. It was a rough time, but I got there in the end. I think I didn't have too many duplicate players. I tried to keep parity in the series. That was something that was pretty important to me. Was I wanted this to feel like, oh, they couldn't get, let's say the Yankees, they couldn't hold on to Juan Soto because he went to the Mets in this series. Obviously, who knows what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, like, I wanted to create a working series that lived and breathed. Um, Whether or not things happened in real life, I don't care. But like, I wanted them to have to work around that. I didn't want to. Obviously, the Yankees would love to keep Juan Soto. Like, but I just wanted to keep a working series. But part of that left some of my fans short-hearted because they're like, "Oh, they're keeping Juan Soto," like it would make sense for them to keep Juan Soto. They would love to keep Juan Soto, but we don't know. And it's just stuff like that kind of bled in through the series. And I think I should have created a working database both for myself, but also for my fans to understand, like, hey, he went to a different team on a different video. I wanted to keep that. I tried to make that clear as I was going through the videos, but I think that kind of leaked through a little bit, and some fans didn't understand that, and that's on me as much as anybody. That's on me, and I apologize for that. Another thing was my poor planning kind of led to some rushed things toward the end, as I said. Some mispronounced names slipped in, some missed options. I think my biggest one goes to Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher from the Braves. He has it on a club option, but I had him leaving because I thought he was an unrestricted free agent. I was like, there's no way they're paying for a backup catcher essentially that much, especially for what he deserves. But club option, absolutely, he's going to stay in Atlanta. Stuff like that kind of slipped through the cracks towards the end. And then another complaint kind of on my end that I definitely would like to approach differently next year is I had too many free agents going to the bad teams at the beginning of the series because I felt bad. Just like I didn't want to have a video where I had like the Oakland Athletics signing absolutely nobody because that's not fun. That's not an interesting video to watch, in my opinion. So that was something I really wanted to do. Is I was like, okay, I got to have some players going there, and I just picked too high quality of free agents to go there. Should have definitely went down the pedestal a little bit because once I got to teams towards the later end, I know the Baltimore Orioles was one where I really kind of shortcutted them a bit. I think of the Guardians, who they don't spend money anyway, but you get the point. Like teams towards the ends that are competitors that need to make upgrades that weren't like the top tier guys that I saved. They kind of struggled to get free agents. I will admit, and that's just because at the beginning I was signing guys left and right a little bit too frequently, and then I was stuck in this series where I was like, okay, I want to keep parity, but I have no free agents left, so it got tough towards the end. I'm not gonna lie. But that's on me. Again, planning. I think having a database that see who's left or restricted or who's left as free agents, you know, will help out a good bit. Another thing I think that I didn't incorporate a whole lot of was trades. I think I only had 2 or 3 across the entire series. Part of that was this whole idea of parity that I keep going back to. I wanted to make it understandable for fans that, like, if I go for the Pittsburgh Pirates, they go and grab Yandy Diaz. I didn't want it to be too confusing for if you went to the Rays and they had just 3 prospects on the team. Obviously, I need to fully explain that whenever I go into the Rays video, but at the same time, I think it was something that I was really worried about people were gonna not latch onto, and I really also didn't necessarily know if I had the time to delve into prospects. Like, the Rays obviously wouldn't be getting too many MLB level guys back. They'd be going after prospects, and it was something I couldn't necessarily justify. It was like something like I didn't want to dive into the 25th prospect on the Pirates. Like, I just don't have time for that, especially with such a shortened time span. So it was just a kind of a gut decision for me, limit trades where necessary, and that's just kind of how it was. And that's kind of lead me to my final point of something I will do improve next year, and that is to not go team by team. This year I went like whenever I was focused on the White Sox, I was focused on the White Sox, and then I'd go to the next team, and I'd go to the next team, and I'd go to the next team. And I think this year or next year, I guess I will definitely take an overhaul look. I'll go through every team's free agents, and I'll be like, okay, they're going to keep this guy. They're going to keep this guy. They're going to let this guy go, and then I'm going to put them into the database. This way, I know who should be actually leaving teams. Um, I think those some teams that let guys go that will probably not walk in free agency. Let's just call it what it is. And that happens in real life. Like, we get surprises every year, but at the same time, I think it happened too frequently for me. And I think that's something I could definitely work on for next year to get better. I think creating that working Excel file would be interesting for me. It's something I'd be interested in sharing with you all. Maybe something that updates as the series progresses. Here's who you had before the video was recorded. Here's who I had to work with left. I don't know if that'd be worth your time, because if I was watching a series, I probably wouldn't click on it, to be honest. But if that was worth your time, absolutely, I would share that with you all. But that's where my thoughts generally lie. I'm just going to say it again. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this was a bit of a long winded explanation of how I thought the series went. Let me know how you guys thought about it down below. It's been a blessing this month. I've said it time and time again. Comment section, I'm always blessing you guys, thanking you guys so much. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you again. It's truly going to be a blessing once we can hit this 1,000 subscribers. Once I can, fully monetize the channel, it won't change too much, especially because whenever I first get money for YouTube, it's not going to necessarily be a huge revenue stream. I'll be making pennies, but it's going to be great. I'm going to love it. I love it already. And just having an extra incentive is just going to make me want to go all out even more. But that's enough of that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for the support across the entire series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, just kind of giving you guys some love. And as always, see you in the next video and have a wonderful day.